Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another exciting edition of Pardon Our Picks, where perfection is a work in progress. I'm your host, Sam. Alongside me is your host, Tarek. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. Ready for another season of football. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited for this week, for the beginning of football. Preseason's done. We're getting to it. And then, of course, we always have our QB queen, Jessica. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. I've been oddly tired today, but it's fun to catch up on some football after so long. I've been out of it, but
Well,
excited.
you need to get some of that energy back because you got to carry us. Okay.
I won last year, right?
We'll get to that. But anyway, we of course are brought to you by Into Deep. Come and check out their second to final show, their farewell show, if you would, at Fishhead Cantina this Saturday night. Gonna be one of your last chances to catch them. I think they have one other show, but it's at like a fairgrounds in October, and this is the one you want to catch. So everything springs anew. This is a new season, but we always got to look ahead. So I gotta ask. Everybody's gonna be asking this question. Everybody wants to know, who do you guys have playing in the Super Bowl this year?
Jeez.
I know, big question, big ask.
I'll go last.
All right, ready for this?
Do it.
It's a bold prediction, Cotton. We're gonna go with the rematch of Super Bowl 47.
Oh,
The Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers.
I knew she was going to pick the Ravens.
I didn't think I was, but I feel like this is the only chance that they're going to have for a long time because they basically mortgaged the team for good reason, and they've only got OBJ this year. He's got Lamar's got more offensive weapons than he has or ever will have. So, and our defense was looking great toward the end of last year. So,
and a new coordinator too, with
offensive coordinator. So there's only one way to go is up, and I think this. If we don't make it, we're gonna get close.
Well, you think Brock Purdy's the answer there?
I don't know about Brock Purdy, but I don't think you need like an elite quarterback in that position on that spot or on that team to get to the Super Bowl. They were amazing last year.
You think Sam Darnold might overtake him?
I don't know. I mean, I hope it's Brock Purdy. I like Sam Darnold, but honestly, whoever's the better quarterback. Sam Darnold's probably coming in with a little bit more experience, I guess. So, but if they want a future with Brock Purdy, they're going to try to play him now.
Sure. These are the hard-hitting questions we're asking tonight, folks. Speaking of hard-hitting, Tarek, hit us hard with your prediction.
Oh, good Lord. I'm just going to go random here because I really have no unearthly clue here.
Do it.
So I'm going to go along with Jess with the Ravens because she made a very good point of it's make or break at this point. They've done all they could. We were all talking about all the off-season moves and the contracts and everything else. And I'm going to go bold. Cowboys.
There it is.
Whoa.
just to go completely out, like they're in a rebuild. They're doing better. I liked how they looked in the preseason. They were looking good last year. I'm going to be wrong. I know I'm going to be wrong. So, but.
And now they'll never win it. Dang it.
No, I mean, I don't know because, I mean.
So you guys both think that the Baltimore Ravens are going to make it out of that bandsaw that is the AFC, huh?
I don't know, but I think Jess made the point very well that if they don't do it this year, it's not going to happen for a while.
Okay.
And Baltimore is a scrappy place. Like You know, they know that. They know that they have to fight for it this year. And Lamar Jackson is a competitor. He wants to win, like more than I've ever seen somebody want to win things.
So if he can get out of his own way and out of his own ego that he was having trouble with last year, then I think we've got a real shot.
He totally wants to win that big contract, man. Which he did. He won the big contract. Pinned him up against the wall and just took what he wanted.
Yeah. So hopefully he doesn't do what a bunch of other people do. Oh, I got the big contract. Now I don't have to play. So
Yeah. A la Albert Hainsworth, some other notable people, of course. But if we're gonna go bold out of the AFC, I don't have the Ravens. I know. Bold prediction. Whoa. But let's go even bolder. Chargers. Got the Chargers coming out of the AFC.
that's a bold prediction, Cotton.
Yes. The Ravens, Lamar Jackson isn't the only one to get a big contract this year. It's Justin Herbert, too. He got a big contract. And I think they, with a new offensive coordinator who's much better with the passing game, much better with everything that goes on with the offense, and Kellen Moore, who came from the Cowboys, I think they have a better shot of making it. I think that was part of their problem last year was, well, one, their head coach is still there, which a bit of a drag. But their offensive coordinator was pretty bad. I think now they have that in place. They're going to have a game plan. They're going to be better on offense. Now, in the NFC, man, I want to pick the Cowboys so bad, but something
Tell me
tells
you're going to flip the script and do what Tarek did and you pick Denver. No, I'm just kidding.
Denver
I
gonna
wouldn't
win?
pick Denver. I wouldn't pick Denver.
No, I'm not picking the Cowboys. Okay. I am going to take I'm not gonna take San Francisco either. And San Francisco would, man, I'm loath to pick them. Loath to pick the Eagles to go back. I don't even think the Eagles are gonna win their division.
We're not asking who's not going to make it. We're asking who
I
is
know.
going to make it.
I know.
Oh, I don't think the Eagles are going to do as well this year either.
I don't think so either. But in the NFC, dang it, Cowboys. Honestly, you look at the NFC and how many good teams do you see in the NFC right now? You might see 3. One of them doesn't have a quarterback, really. They got Brock Purdy. The rest of their team, great. But I think last year, if Tony Pollard wouldn't have hurt his knee, they would have been a strong contender to get to the Super Bowl. Maybe not win it, but get to the Super Bowl. That was the only reason I think why they lost to San Francisco. And I think the only reason San Francisco lost to Philly is because they didn't have a quarterback. Brock Purdy was hurt. Everybody was hurt.
Went
What's up?
through 3 quarterbacks in that game and still had a chance. You think Dallas could beat them? That is
Yeah.
a bold prediction.
Yeah, I think Dallas would have beat them. The score was real close. As soon as Tony Pollard went down, they were able to key just on the passing game. They didn't have to worry about Ezekiel Elliott because he just doesn't have anything left in the tank. So it became one-dimensional and they crumbled. If Tony Pollard can play the entire season and can play through the playoffs, I think he can help get them there, get them to where they want to be.
So I'm trying to think of didn't the Chargers lose one of their biggest players this year? I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe I was thinking of Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler's still there.
Yeah, but for some reason his name keeps coming to my mind. Maybe not.
I feel like they picked up a good receiver in the draft, which is going to complement their other 2 receivers who are always kind of hurt. So, but yeah, no, I figured it would be a bold prediction. You know, the Chargers haven't been there in a while, and I think they can make it back. But that entire AFC is just tough.
Yeah.
Speaking of tough, let's take a look at our final standings from last year. Jessica, of course, edging me out in the regular season with by 2 wins. We were this close, all of us, to having less than 100 losses.
And what about Sammy?
Sammy wasn't consistent enough to have a record last year. So instead of going back through every week that he did to check it, I'm just leaving. I left his blank from last year, but this year he will have one because I'm getting his picks every week.
It works when you're in the same house.
It does. That being said, of course, in playoffs, Jessica won that too. She absolutely wally mopped all of us. I think she beat us by at least 3 points.
Awesome.
Didn't you guys give me so much crap for that, telling me it was all chalk?
It was all chalk, but chalk worked.
Yeah.
So, whatever. All right. Well,
I usually win the playoffs, so I'm allowed to have it off year.
I usually win the regular season. Jessica just
First of all,
she took it. She
you
took
won
it.
it like one time against me. And we were neck and neck until the end. So
Yeah, we were neck and neck until the end here too.
actually, I feel like you started back in the end, but
I did start coming back in the end.
I started dropping off. I think I started getting a little too bold one point, and then I went back to chalk and it was fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was a 1-game swing actually. It was 1 game in the final week that if it would have went my way, we would have tied. But anyway, let's get on with let's get to our games of the week. We're gonna start with Jessica. What is your game of the week?
I think I went with the Bengals and Browns this year or this week.
There it is.
So this is kind of an exciting game, especially, being an AFC division rivalry. Both teams have really beefed things up. The Bengals have consistently been good. And of course, I found a really interesting statistic about Joe Burrow. He has consistently missed a ton of time in training camp prior to the season. And then he always has a really strange first week where it's like a 3-point game, no matter who. And I looked at it and it was like 1 year he missed a ton of time because of like COVID or something. He had one that he was his appendix had ruptured, so he missed a ton of time like that. And then this time he's got the hamstring, I think, or calf maybe.
I think it's quad.
It's a calf strain. But they do expect him to play week 1. They said that he's been doing good enough and he's day to day. But the Browns defense, I do think, is going to be a bit of a challenge. Myles Garrett, though, is questionable, but I believe they think he's going to play at this point. But on the offensive side, we'll see Amari Cooper and Elijah Moore. I think it's going to be another like 3-point game, very close, very hard fought game, very physical. And then for the Bengals, we're going to see Jamar Chase and T. Higgins have a big game. With Joe Burrow being just a top quarterback, and so many of his offensive weapons, like I feel like with this upcoming amount of planning time for the coaching staff, they also reworked their offensive line. So that's going to challenge, the Browns defense a bit. So I'm going to take the Bengals by 3. I think it's going to be super hard fought. And actually it was a tough choice for me. Cause I am concerned that the Browns have a good shot at this one.
I agree with a lot of what you said. What do you got, Tarek? Who do you get?
All right, so I'm going with the Bengals as well. I'm going to have to learn more of the players. Not that anyone expects me to know as much as Jess or Brady or you as all the players and stats and everything. But just based on last year's performances, the offseason, the preseason, I think the Bengals are edging it out. This is a good division rivalry, especially for here in Baltimore. I think it should be good. We'll see what your Burrow and them have to do, but bring to the table.
You think Deshaun Watson picks it up this year?
That is a good question.
I don't think I'm allowed to say what I want to say. I'll just say
it's a family show.
I hope not.
Yeah, it would behoove the NFL and publicity not to.
So you don't think it's going to be a happy ending for Deshaun Watson this week?
No.
No.
Okay.
But I do think he'll look better than he did
I
last
see what you did there. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
year.
As long as you're not picking up what he's putting down.
No, God,
Anyway.
no.
Yeah. As far as this game goes, yeah, Burrow's a little tweaked right now, but Deshaun Watson, I think Deshaun Watson has a good year this year, but I don't see him beating the Bengals because given their defense, I think their defense is going to be the factor here, right? The Bengals are going to be able to slow down Chubb. They're going to keep Deshaun Watson fairly contained. They've had a couple of years to play against the Lamar Jackson, so they've got a pretty good idea what a running quarterback looks like. I do think this comes down to the wire. I do think it's a 6-point game. I do have the Bengals winning to move to 1-0 and possibly leading the division after week 1. We'll see how it goes.
I think the biggest thing that made me question it too, I think I saw that like in the last 5 meetings, the Bengals maybe have only won 1 of them. So I think it was them. And that was a kind of an interesting and concerning little stat.
Absolutely. All right, now, Eric, it's your game of the week. What do you got, buddy?
I got the Tennessee Titans and the New Orleans Saints. All right. I thought this was going to be an interesting one. You got an established quarterback and a quarterback with a new team with Derek Carr with the Saints. And you got Ryan Tannehill. So I think it's a really good QB matchup. I think both teams got something to prove. You got Titans constantly with Derrick Henry trying to they push it to the end every single year. So I feel like they got something to prove. Saints are trying to still rebuild after Drew Brees left and trying to establish that they're not just what the 2014 Colts were when Peyton Manning went out. So with this one, just to double check that I have the right ones here, and I have the Titans just edging out in this one. I think Ryan Tannehill is gonna just make a little bit more of a difference within an established team and established chemistry here.
Jess.
So I actually went with the Saints on this one. I'm very excited to see Derek Carr go to New Orleans. I actually completely forgot that he went there. Yeah. So and he's got some great targets. I don't know, Olave or how do you say his last
Chris
name?
Olave, yes.
Olave. Michael Thomas should have a better year. I mean, I had him on my fantasy team, unfortunately, last year, and he was out for I don't even know how long. Johnson, and then of course Kamara is going to miss the first couple of games, but I think it's going to be an exciting game. The Titans are always super physical, and I feel like the Saints generally are as well, especially on defense. And now they've got a quarterback that hopefully is not known for throwing more interceptions than touchdowns generally, or just throwing it up in the air because, and hoping for the best. That's not a real stat. He did not throw more interceptions than touchdowns. Talking about Winston, yeah. But absolutely. He was quoted as saying that he absolutely will, when he's under pressure, he will throw the ball up into the end zone and hope for the best, essentially. And that's obviously, that showed. I think they're going to do a lot better this year. So I'm definitely going with the Saints here, but I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm excited to watch that one.
This is Derrick Henry's last year, probably as a Titan. His contract is up at the end of the season. He has been a bruiser every year he's been there, except for when he got hurt. Even then, he came back late and was still pretty good. This guy, he's taken a lot of beatings. He's going up against the Saints defense that's decent. They've had a lot of cap issues. Picking up Derek Carr was a good move for them. I believe that Derek Carr was just in a bad situation with the Raiders. It just wasn't his place. Given that Tannehill will be starting this game against the Saints, it's going to be closer than it should be because I still think that the Saints are pretty bad overall. And of course, like you said, Kamara is going to be out for 3 weeks. Given they don't add to that if his sentence comes down at some point. I got the Titans winning this. I wasn't too enamored with this game simply because I figured Derrick Henry would be running all over him. So if you like bruiser games, this is the one for you. All right. Now we're going to get to the last game of the week, and that is going to be the Thursday night game, the Lions against the Kansas City Chiefs. This is Brady's game of the week. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here tonight. We hope for the best for him and his dad. But he picked the Lions against the Chiefs. The Lions absolutely came out of nowhere last year, almost made the playoffs, knocked Green Bay out of the playoff race in the final week. Kansas City, of course, Super Bowl winners last year. This is going to be an exciting game. Kansas City doesn't have a running game still. I don't think they really ever will. And news broke today that Travis Kelce actually hyperextended his knee, and he's day-to-day. They don't know if he's going to play this week. So if you got him on your fantasy team, you're going to be watching that all the way up until game time to see if he plays. The Lions, they got rid of their top rusher last year. He went to the Saints. They got rid of their top tight end last year. Got traded to Minnesota, but they picked up a running back in the first round, which was inexplicable. They picked up a tight end who's going to be good. I think this game is actually going to be one of the best of the week. I got it being a high-scoring affair. I got Kansas City winning this, but I would not be surprised if Detroit came in and shocked the world.
So, I also have Kansas City winning this, and it was a tough pick for me, though. I was initially going to go with the Lions. I was looking into some of their history, and the last notable game that they played was, of course, a shootout, and Jared Goff actually won it, but it was not the Lions at the time that he was with. It was 54-51 or something crazy, but that, for me, somebody who really likes good defensive games as well, isn't, it's exciting, but I like it to be a really balanced game. The thing that steered me to pick the Kansas City Chiefs is, number one, Andy Reid has had all this planning time. Whenever he has planning time, he just doesn't lose. Andy Reid's record is 8-0 in the last 8 years is 8-0 for openers. And there is some issues with Chris Jones being out, but they did pick up a defensive tackle, so they are ready. And Patrick Mahomes' record is 5-0 or something on season openers, so it's really hard to pick against that. I'm going with Kansas City, and definitely a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I really can't refute anything you guys have said. You guys have made all the points. I agree with everything you guys have said. I'm going with Kansas City as well. I wasn't really leaning Detroit too much. Part of that is I have to get rid of my stigma of Detroit not playing well for so many years. But yeah, Kansas City has proven time and time again that they can do this. And even if Detroit's going to have a good year this year, I don't know that they can do that against Kansas City. So I'm going with them.
You don't think they're going to bite their kneecaps?
Did I miss something?
Wasn't that last year somebody
I think it was 2 years ago, the head coach Dan Campbell of the Lions said that when he got hired, they were going to bite some kneecaps.
Yeah, that's a common turn of phrase.
Oh, absolutely.
I say it every day.
All right. Well, now that we've got those done, let's move on to our pop panel pick'ems. This, of course, is brought to you by Aardvark Concepts. More than just a sign shop. And of course, we got a lot of similar picks. The Bengals, Kansas City, Carolina. Tell us about that one.
Yes. Yes, I will. I will bring forth all the stats and info that I have on this game.
Is it a gut feeling?
Yeah, more of gut feeling as I was going through trying to send you all my picks really quick for the video tonight. So I really can't defend that one too much. That might be I might pull a Jess at a game time decision change on that one.
No.
That's called hold it, Jess.
All right. Well, let's move on to the next one. Then we have Tampa Bay. You a big Baker Mayfield fan?
It's another one of those. I in my head, I think I thought Tom Brady was still there. Oh, week 1 sucks. Yeah, that's another one of those. I messed up.
Well, I can at least defend the Titans pick. Both me and you picked the Titans, and of course we've discussed that. Derrick Henry's a force to be working with, even though everybody else seems to think something else.
Including your own son.
Yeah. Now, mind you, the Cardinals Washington game is interesting simply because Sam Howell's the starting quarterback of the Washington football team, the Commanders, and the Cardinals. I have no idea who their starting quarterback is right now because they got rid of Colt McCoy. Kyler Murray's on the pup list. So there we go. So me, you, and Sammy all picked Denver over the Garoppolo-led Las Vegas Raiders. And
Yeah, that might be a last minute switch for me, but I don't think so. I want to see what Devontae Adams does this year. I'm excited.
I want to see what he does too, but honestly, my pick was based solely on Sean Payton.
Yeah, that's what mine was based on as well.
I think that's going to be a big he's going to have a huge impact for sure. But we'll see.
Well, another question I got to ask. Chicago?
I think Chicago is going to surprise people. And I think Justin Fields is, every year he's better and better. So
Running, sure. Throwing, no.
I mean, we had the same problem with Lamar, and no, I thought he got better at throwing than he was originally.
Oh, God, no. His throwing numbers were putrid last
But
year.
were they better
Then
than the year before?
no, they were about putrid then too.
I think they were better. And we
Well,
won't
hey,
even ask about the Patriots pick.
It's just
I guess she
keep
just
moving. Just keep moving.
she just doesn't have that love, I guess.
Yeah, just keep moving.
All right. Let's get to this last couple games, and Tarek is going rogue on us.
I'm just
Brady is rubbing off on him somewhere.
yeah. I'm going against the grain. I'm going for last place here.
He just wants to come back for a more dramatic victory.
Yeah.
Week 1 is always wild, so you never know.
It is. I guess, and I'm thinking Jessica is a big fan of the Aaron Rodgers experiment in New York.
I mean, I cannot stand Aaron Rodgers, which we all know, but they do have a really stacked team. So I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see what happens with that. And I think the Bills let go of some people. They also have some people on injury, right? Like Von Miller, he's out still, right?
Von Miller's still out. He'll be back soon, though.
So yeah, I went on I think the more predictable side for this one. I think.
The more predictable side. Okay, yeah. If you believe it.
I mean, we'll see. Who knows? The thing is the Jets are like a brand new team now,
They are, and I think they got a good offense, but I still think Buffalo's still the class of the division.
They're also technically ranked as on paper one of the best defenses in the league right now. So that's what sells me.
Yeah,
Good offense and a great defense. Yeah,
I think Jessica just wants to move to New York because she's picking both New York teams to win.
definitely do not want to move to New York.
I mean, I know why Sammy picked New York because Cowboys are my favorite team. That was his reasoning. That was his reasoning for picking New York.
He just wants to go against Dad.
Yes,
Honestly, my Giants pick very well could flip.
doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining us for another season of this. We're very excited to all come back together and do this for you guys. Do it. Just talk football with each other, get a chance to talk shop. Please remember, like the video, let us know in the comments how bogus our picks were, who you think is going to win, who you think is going to lose, your Super Bowl predictions.
Why Jessica loves New York so much.
Yeah.
It's-
why I keep picking wrong bad teams. And please subscribe so you know when our video is coming out, and we will see you next time. As always, I'm Tarek.
I'm Jessica.
And I'm Sam. And you have a great football week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.